When we started, Gateway was our major competitor, and Micron, and Gateway went by the wayside, and then Hewlett Packard and all the rest of them have come up and have gone by the wayside. I really think it was the quality of the people, the resource pool that he had here in Austin to hire from, with all of these kids coming out of UT loving Austin and not really wanting to leave Austin, and they would come over and he'd get these really bright people, and they would just absolutely give him an advantage. And the truth is, I've been working with really sharp people the whole time I was there. So, and that's why when I wrote my little email to Michael and said, "Hey Michael, I got a book that I wrote," and I'll come back to that here. I told him, I said, "Look, there's hundreds of more good stories like this." And so this is back about the time that I started there. Michael Dell was just a youngster, and there was this factory floor that you would stand up on the rail above it, and you would look over it, and it was the most efficient thing you'd ever seen. On the left there'd be a dozen bays, and trucks would be unloading parts for the assembly lines, and those trucks would have gotten the right to pull up to the door by winning a bidding war. So there might be 3 trucks with hard drives from different manufacturers sitting outside, and there would be a bidding war, and whoever won at that moment that it was needed, they would pull their, so let's say it was Seagate that won. Seagate would pull their truck up to the door and unload all these hard drives for the assembly lines. And the assembly lines were just 20 paces down, and then there's this huge rows of assembly lines where they were building the computers. And on the other side of the assembly lines, there was racks where they would test hundreds of systems at a time, right? And then from there, there'd be a dozen large bays on the other side of the building, and they'd be open and they'd be packing computers in there to be shipped to customers all over the US. And it was just the most amazing operation to see. And back then, in fact, it was, Michael Dell said, we've got a just-in-time inventory system, which means we get it just in time to build it, and then it leaves. And said the average length of time that he held any part in inventory was 4 hours. And if you think of building billions of dollars, even back then, they're building billions of dollars worth of computers, and they're building them just like that, right? And so build, test. We were taking calls from early for the first part of the day till at night, and there was always at least 50 to 100 people waiting in the queue to buy. And so we were just taking calls one after the other, and people were buying like crazy because we were so much cheaper than IBM.
But this is big companies, not individuals, right?
No, that was mostly individuals back then. So this was back in 1996. It was before the servers came along, and it was just laptops and desktops. Right, and even a desktop could run you several grand back then, right? The Pentium had just come out. I don't know if y'all probably that there were x80 or 386s and 486s, and then Pentiums came out about the time that I joined Dell. So it was a new beast. But so we're busy all day long selling computers as fast as we possibly can. The order goes from us directly, so we type the order in, we take the credit card information, we get them exactly what they want, and we help them figure out what they want, right? And then it goes down to the floor, and the order gets filled immediately by assemblers who are just waiting to put the next one together or have it, it's lined up to be as optimal, as efficient as it possibly can be. And they put the computer together, and it goes out on a truck, and a few days later you have your brand new Dell computer. And it was just a superior, it was just, then this thing called the internet came along, and nobody really knew anything about it. And so back then, I'm sitting on this queue with 50 to 100 people all the time just waiting to buy their next computer from me, right? And they say, well, we're going to start up this new thing there where we're going to support the internet. And we don't know how it's going to do, but we're going to advertise the internet, and we're going to take calls off the internet, and would you like to join the team doing that? And I said, sure, I'll do that. And so I didn't do it automatically, but I knew what the internet was. I'm really good at seeing what, I've got good I'm conceptually sharp, right? Details may escape me, but conceptually I'm really good at things. And so I joined, and that team, that sort of taught me everything I needed to know for the rest of the years that I was at Dell, because that team that was taking orders off the internet couldn't keep up with what was going on the internet, because everybody was starting to call in. It wasn't consumers, it was, it was universities and owners of business. It was kind of interesting to get off of that team and to move on, but they came up and started selling servers. And when they started selling servers.
Oh, okay.
And when Dell started selling servers, I was like, okay, this will be another really good thing to do, right? Because then I remember Michael Dell when we were sitting in the auditorium, the Palmer Auditorium downtown, and he was introducing the servers to us. He said two things that really struck me. He said, look, the market is proprietary and bloated. And he says, and we're going to take the proprietariness and all the bloat out of the marketplace, and with this line of servers, and it's going to make a huge difference. We're going to sell a whole bunch of them, right? And so I went over and joined that team because it seemed like the next up and coming thing, and I did it right as the internet revolution was breaking. And so, yeah, so it just immediately got crazy.